Great, can you all hear? Great, oh, thank you. Can I have that, please? Yeah, thank you. That may be need it. Maybe I didn't know I need it. Great, thank you very much. Great. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for on Sunday service. Nice to have a GPA travelers here to a pre-fundraising team. And this morning too, we had a team. Or spent over at Suez fundraising team or stayed over with us. And when I talked to some of them and asked them who are their parents, and it just so much connection because some of my best friends and children are participating in GPA. And of course, Catherine, your name is again? Kiana, right, Kiana. I know Kiana's mother so well because exactly we spent time together at the Boston Card. And it's just so many reflection and what they taught me, time we spent time together in life of faith, what we went through together, and then the incredible result of their faith, their tears, their investment, which maybe you haven't heard from your parents. But because of it, today you are here. It's not a coincidence you are here because they're definitely each one of the parents laid incredible foundation of faith and tears, and we all went through together. That is why you're more like something that they haven't walked yet, like uncharted area. You're kind of chartering, you're kind of paving a path for them. So I'm so glad to see you all. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us together, brothers and sisters. Conbury family, welcome back from Thailand. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Welcome back from Thailand. And thank you everyone that chose this Sunday to be here with us. And thank you. I know Naomi's traveling, but thank you, San Juan. You're here today. Thank you. Thank you. Today I'd just like to talk about life purpose of life, really. Well, first of all, there is a country, or there is a one little area where most of the people live over 100 years old. There is a one area, there are a couple of spots, but particularly one area where many are highly concentrated of people who lived over 100 years old. Do you know where that is? China? China, okay. Japan. But not particularly, but there is one particular spot in Japan that are over many people with over 100 years old. Besides people living upstate New York. Also, there's one little spot right there that people live, a lot of people living over 100 years old. In spite of eating like a fatty food, only fatty food every day, smoke, and all these things, yet they're living over 100. Many of them haven't had a heart attack, never had any diabetic problem, they never really had. They're all living a healthy life in spite of whatever. But there's one thing that is in common. But also here in Japan. But outside of Japan, there isn't one island. Do you know where that is? Okinawa. Okinawa used to be called a Ryukyu Island. It was a part of like a China. It's its own independent nation. But later on, it became part of Japan. But that country has its own culture that Okinawan people spoke in their own dialect. But you know why they were able to live over 100? How could they able to possibly sustain and maintain their longevity? Do you know? There were a couple secret keys to it. Oh yes.
Did they live like happier lives, or they?
Yes, they're living a happier living, of course. Yes, they are. And why they're so happy? They are actually, in fact, they're living a happy life. Why are they so happy?
Because they eat also not just happy life. They eat good food.
They eat good food. Yes, they eat fish and whatever amount of meat. They eat local grown vegetables, stir-fried veggie, and also mozuku. They eat mozuku. It's a sort of like interesting form of seaweed, right? And also sweet potato. That's what they did. It's all homegrown food they eat. And also tofu, a bean-based, high protein-based food they eat. That's one of the secret to the longevity, yes. But happiness. What about that happiness? They are happy, they're eating good, they're happy. Why they're happy? Because?
You got peace of mind and God in your lives.
Peace of mind and God in your life. Exactly, organic farming. They do their own gardening. They enjoy gardening, okay? They grow their own plant. They're healthy because they're moving around. It's a perfect exercise for them. They are also sitting on the floor matting, sit down and stand up, sit down and stand up, walk and sit down and standing up. Constantly they're doing a squat. And at every moment doing a squat. Whenever they want to pick up something, they're standing up and they sit down. They're not really sitting on a couch. I'm not saying that you should get rid of all your couch, but that's how they are. Their legs muscles are strong. That's why majority of still lady approach the 100. They don't really need any of a sort of care. They can live independently. Close to 100 years old, they can live independent life. Okay, so what are some of the things? Socialization, yes, they like to sing, dance together. They like to go out to the singing with other group. Island hopping, going to different island to island, and then got together, they like to sing. They sing together, they learn how to dance and all that kind of stuff. Socialization is very important. That's why coming to Sunday, socializing is probably the most important. Perhaps more than a word. Socializing, enjoying, eat food together. In a barbecue, one of the important things about this one particular community in upstate New York, actually upstate New York, why they're so happy, it is because they're socialized. They like to eat together, they like to bring in their food to neighbors, sharing a meal, barbecue party together. They eat fat food. However, they're not yet getting any heart attacks or any diabetic problems. They're healthy because they are happy. Yes, I'm not saying that you should all go to Burger King from now on. As long as you socialize and you live a long life. I don't think so. I'm not really sure. So I've been taking a lot of high cholesterol medication. I really have to be watch out. You know, be careful. I really have to be careful. Everybody needs to also, by the way, do your blood testing all the time. Maintain your health. It's important. But bottom line is socialization. Then final word. What is the most important word that they believe in? People from Okinawa believe in that one word.
Family.
Family. Okay. Yes, that would definitely relate to anything else. Believe in one word. It is related to happiness. It is what we call it. Not the ikigai, ikigai, but can you put that in a diagram? Thank you very much, Jacob. But what it is an ikigai. Ikigai is actually, iki means, literally meaning is life. Gai means a purpose, life purpose. People there in Okinawa has a clear life purpose in their life. In order for you to have a happy life, it is so important for you to actually have combination of four: passion, profession, vocation, mission. These are very important. However, if it just depends on one thing only, for example, my friend, he was told by the parents, you should become a medical doctor because medical doctor always makes money. You're right. Profession, very important. Sorry. Profession is very important. Yes. So, but the person just, without any passion, just get a job, make a lot of money, however, experiencing emptiness. Oh, can you enlarge it a little bit? That's all right, Jacob. Can you enlarge it? Can you make it a little bigger? That's great. Great. But you're experiencing emptiness. You're comfortable because you're making money. People make money, but yet feeling emptiness. What about this? Yes, combination of a passion and profession. You love it, you're good at it, you make money. However, satisfaction but feeling of uselessness. What am I doing? I'm so passionate, I love this, I'm making money, yet I'm not really satisfied. What about this between passions and mission? I love what I'm doing for the world. However, no money. I don't know how can I sustain my life. I don't know where am I going to live. I can't pay for my rent. I can't pay for my utility bills. I can't really, how can I help? Yes, need wealth. That's why many of us are going through the preparing for retirement. As you're getting older, it is so important. According to Hans Moyer, he says, before you retire, you're going to have a $300,000 in your retirement fund for you to live wonderful retirement. It is better to start at age 21, 22, working on your 401k. While you're working, make sure put the money in account retirement fund. As you're starting early, is it better for you? Okay, here it is, vocation. That is something that you can teach people, help people. You learn something to helping others. At the same time, you get paid for it. Yet you're experiencing excitement and complacency, but sense of uncertainty. Two are not enough. But if you have it all together, then you can really have a sense of happiness inside of you. I can just share with you two to three examples right now. Keith just retired. Keith has been working as a professional contractor, building train. He made a lot of money. But he retired, but he's continued working as much as or more hours than before. He's been serving, helping Roosevelt Middle School. He is a part of the Man Who Cares for Germantown. We're in Germantown right now. He and his people, other men that retired guys, are trying to help students or counseling or consulting or mentoring the students of the middle school. So much needed. One time, he says to the one young man, or there were 5 men at the Real Talk discussion. He asked him, has any of you ever wear suits before? Out of 10 people, 5 people raised hands. Five kids raised his hand. We never wore suits. I never wore suits. Okay. All right. We were going to buy you suits. He said, we're going to buy you suits. And he asked his pastor from a minister, his church, he asked people for donations, raised money, and bought the beautiful suits for 5 junior high school, middle school students. And he says the suits day, everybody suit up there. Everybody suit up and walk on the students, high school or middle school corridor. The 5 of them wearing the suits. They used to walk like this. But now they walk with a lot of pride in their heart. With the dressing up and beautiful suits on, suited up, and they walk through the corridor of the middle school. Keith, he's happy. He's very happy because he has a retirement fund. At the same time, he is doing his mission. He's saving, helping. He's helping that what world needs, what community needs. He's doing it without getting any pay. Difference between mission and a profession is, you're working as a professional, yet you love that job, yet once the boss will tell you you're fired, from the moment you're fired, most likely many of us change your job or your sort of call it mission. You thought of the mission. However, as soon as you are not getting paid anymore, then you just have to look for another job. That is not your mission. Mission is something that you love to do. The mission is something that you can help with what you're good at. That is why here you are, GPA, or going through training to be able to learn this whole aspect of it. Economy. Discover your gift, your talent, your mission, no, your passion, what you love. What is it what you love to do? Kevin is a professional Italian chef. Profession, sense of what you like. Then what about the mission? What about the vocation? Sense of mission. Let's say anyway, okay. Lindsay is actually, she works as a professional real estate. But she spends more hours on her passion. That is, she wants to introduce and advocating to others in Germantown about alternative economy. For example, time banking. Have you heard about the time banking? Deposit your time. She has about so far 25 people working with the time banking. The concept is though, Lindsay is good at painting a wall. Another person is good at the plumbing. Lindsay found out within the people in the 25, the member of the time banking, one person was looking for somebody that needed to paint her house, the wall inside, interior of their house or his house. She decided, I'm volunteering my time. She walks into the house, she spends 6 hours painting that house. She deposited 6 hours in the time banking. Now, Lindsay's bathroom actually out of order. She needs somebody to fix it. Instead of she paid to the plumber, somebody in the member of the 25 people within the time banking members are willing to say, I'm good at plumbing. Then he came, spent 4 hours, fix her bathroom. Now she withdrew 4 hours, he deposited 4 hours in the time bank. It is about the practice of, more like preparing to practice, or forerunner of practicing helping others with love, without asking for money. Time banking. She is spending her hours and hours and days after days, more than her profession, doing her work. Yes. Experiencing happiness, she's happy. However, we need a full realm of the vocation, profession, passions, and mission. If I'm talking about the mission, who are so zeal for mission? Who is it? Probably perhaps one of the most person with such a spirit of zeal to do his mission. Do you know who that person is? Who has been? Who was it? Well, for me, right, reason why I'm here today is because I was so moved and inspired of Life of the Father Moon, because he came to the point of his thoughts is God's thoughts. God's thought is his thoughts. Who is God anyway to you? Anybody? Who is God to you? What is it? Okay, super, go ahead.
God is love. When you have a connection in heart with another person, centering upon a little higher than your own personal feeling.
Thank you very much. Okay, God is love. God is unconditional love. Yes. And the Father Moon is actually a little advanced forward in terms of mission. He feels is that when he wakes up in the morning, he feels that God needs him. In a way, or to the point where God is like right next to him. More like, a word of attendance. Attending somebody, it's like your mind becomes their mind is your mind. Like you're thinking that God's thinking, God thinks you're thinking. If you really began attending God. Well, Father will spend quite a few years or months in Las Vegas, right? In Las Vegas, You know, sometimes he needs a break, right? He's been traveling around the world, right? Doing something, busy, even leaving his family behind. It is because when God told him to go to the left, he had to go to the left. When God told him to go to the right, he had to go to the right. So when he was in Las Vegas, he was invited by, of course, the people, American leader, invited him over to Sedona. Beautiful place. Sedona. I know Bauta knows where Sedona is. Beautiful place, right? He was invited. They took, literally, drove all the way to Sedona. It was like 8-hour drive to get there. They unpacked everything, unloaded all the stuff. They loaded up a lot of stuff. They drove all the way to Sedona, unpacked everything, and ready to have a wonderful vacation. Father Moon and the Mother Moon, and then, you know, rest of the staff out there. And then Father Moon suddenly turned around. I gotta go back to Las Vegas right now. Well, we just unpacked everything. I gotta go back. Wait a minute, I mean, we just unpacked this. What's going on? God told me to go back right now. God told me to go back right now. God is God of love. You know, God is love. But for Father Moon, God told me to just go back right now in Las Vegas. Disturbing his peace and his love and his feeling of happiness, all right? But he had to go right back to Las Vegas. And then somebody can drive me. Driving is too long. Somebody needs to fly me to Las Vegas. God needs me in short hours. Have to get there by this time, this morning, 8 o'clock in the morning to get there. Father, it's impossible. Driving is taking 8 hours to get back there. I need to get there within 4 hours. I need somebody to fly. So they called the pilot, who just dropped them off and flew way over, went back to, no, he was not there. He was like taking a rest because Father Moon was in Sedona. I mean, he didn't really have to fly him. So the pilot was taking a break. Then suddenly he was waking up in the morning. Got called home from the early morning that he had to fly him. So he had to prepare everything. He went up to the airplane, ready to fly. But Father Moon couldn't wait. So he had to ask the driver to drive him. Not 8 hours. He had to drive in 4 hours. Need to get there like within the 4 hours. The 8 hour worth of long distance in the 4 hours. It's like the driver had to drive like 110 miles. The driver was like nervous. He's driving so fast because Father Moon has to get to the Las Vegas. God is waiting for him by this time. If you live your life every single day, God is calling. You're walking toward the shopping center. Suddenly God told you, I want to be here right now. God, I gotta go. Sorry, God, I gotta go. I mean, what kind of life your life you're living? That's not your life anymore. It is the life of God. God needs him every moment, every minute, and every hour, and every day. That is Father Moon's life. Do you think he had a time for his own family? No. Then one day he says, because I know, I had some serious talk with my son. It was beautifully loving. But it was important for me to talk to him also. Father Moon has his own serious talk because his son was in trouble. Or he's going through something difficult, challenge, that he wanted his sons to change in that environment. So Father Moon asked him, why don't we spend time together? He never says that in the past, but this time he says, why don't we spend time together? Please, just drop everything what you're doing. Please come visit me. We will spend some long months together. Next 1 year, you and I together. We spend time together. That is Father's love. Spend time. What are you gonna do, Dad? No, spend time together. I want to spend time with you. Come with me. Stay with me. In this crazy time that he is willing to say, I want to spend time with you all the time. And he says, no. No. I don't have a time. I feel it myself. And what it's like. Before I really want to spend my time together with my son, it really hurts. But it's heart of Father, it's a heart of God, that he really wants to spend time with you. Because perhaps we never give a chance to God time. I'm sorry, back to Ikigai, sense of mission. A little bit extreme for the father. But yet, if your children are going through something, it is important that leave your profession behind it. Money is important, or your family is important. Your children important, your wife or your husband, your spouse is important. More important than perhaps what you get paid in every single day. It always creating a sense of empty without this full sense. Sense of mission, for example, is this Sue Stoyer. Every time her children, Sue Stoyer is a mother of her grandmother of one granddaughter, living in Delaware. She says, my goodness, my children, Matt and Anissa, they have one wonderful daughter, dropped my house, not 2 hours, but 8 hours. 8 hours, like she's like looking into my eyes, and 8 hours, you know? Not 2 hours though, sorry. Every day for 8 hours, for 5 days. Sort of complain, but at the same time, Sue is the luckiest person. Because when she wakes up in the morning, she has a sense of mission, purpose. Somebody needs her very much. It's her son and daughter-in-law need her to watch over their daughter. And granddaughter needs her too. That's why when she wakes up in the morning, she feels a sense of feeling that somebody needs me. It's very important. Otherwise, your life will perish. Many people die young. It is because when you lost the sense of feeling that somebody needs me. In other words, nobody needs me anymore. Then you start getting sick, getting old, getting sick, and die eventually. Die younger than somebody feels always, I'm needed by someone. But needed by God, need my family, need my neighbors. At the final, I'd just like to share with you a story of a Mother Moon today. I don't know if you ever have you read the letter of Mother Moon wrote the true Father, Father Moon? Have you read it? I encourage you to read it if you have a time to read. It's a beautiful letter. In the letter, it was a long letter, but I just wanted to sort of excerpt some of the points of the Mother Moon's letter. Now, when Father Moon was in the last moment, of the final moment of the last 3 months, he was in the hospital. He was in the hospital, but he just could not just stay in the hospital. You know how Father Moon is. God is calling me, you gotta go. I had to get him. He was wearing an oxygen pump, almost a human size, a big, giant oxygen pump behind him, connecting the tube all over his nose, his hair. You know, I mean, it's like all kind of lines that the tubes are hooked up to him. But he's still like, I need to get out of there. I don't have any time now. So eventually he asked the hospital for permission so that he can visit some of the very important places like Chongpyeong, high schools in Chongpyeong, and also old high school that he used to go. There were a couple places he went, and then he spent time together. He was walking along with the Mother Moon Father says to look into Mother Moon's eyes, and he was like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mother Moon was kind of shocked. Why you start saying, why you start telling me all that? Thank you very much, Mother. Thank you. And then they went on to the dining hall in Cheongpyeong. They both sat together, and Father, instead of eating, he just gazing at the Mother Moon's face, like he's not eating. He has a dish in front of him. He's not eating, as if he was engraving of Mother Moon's face in his heart. That's what she says in the letter. And Mother Moon was like, please eat. But he was not eating. And Mother Moon feed him with a chopstick. And as she's doing it, she's trying to engraving Father's face in her heart. This relationship, it's deep. It is very deep. And when they both went out to pray to God, Father says, this is a famous word, I have complete the providence of restoration, God. Please accept my offering. And look to true Mother and Mother Moon. I'm sorry and I'm grateful. Mother, I'm sorry and I'm grateful. Sorry has so much deep depth of lot of memory inside of Mother Moon and the Father Moon. Sorry cannot just describe in one word. It has so much to it. That's why she said, can you flip the final word here? It's like this. Actually, east to the west, south to north. This is true Mother of the Light. Excerpt from her letter. East to west, south to north, I ran with all my might, seeking to embrace the world. My mouth was sore, my legs were swollen. I could barely stand, yet I could not rest. This was because, however, difficult realizing that the world may be. I had to keep the promise I had made to you, that I will conclude everything within my lifetime. I live each day reaffirming my resolve that I will fulfill this without fail, and that to do so I shall not change. Every time I desperately miss you, I look to the moon for compassion, for companion, and spoke with it, reminding myself of the promise I have made to you as stood before you, holy body. I will firmly establish Cheongpyeong by the time I send. It was basically a prayer, a promise in front of our Father inside of the coffin, Father Moon. So, yes, going back to that finally, so important for the 4 words, passion, mission, perfection, and vocation. But I really feel that what's the really most important word within is a mission. Because the Father says like this before, Father Moon says like this, love heaven, love people, love your country. It's like a soul, more like a mission statement. Love country, love mission, and love your people. Based on it, it is so important that we can learn all the professionalism. How can it become professionally working in the world today? With what you love, what you're so good at, what you're capable of, and you get paid for it, and trying to help others with a sense of mission, profession, vocation, and the passion, which actually hopefully it is providing us with a joy and a sense of life purpose. Join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents, thank you. And thank you very much, Father, that we're so grateful that we are here on Sunday at the church. Each one of us has a profession. Every day we work. We live our routine life. Wakes up in the morning thinking about how am I going to finish my day with my job. There were a lot of the things we had to do at the job. God, is that it's all about is the working? Sometimes work, but I don't want to work. I hate to do what I'm doing now. Or even I love what I do, however, I just gotta get paid. But what else? We often kind of asking ourselves, what is it? Are there more in life? Feeling of the mission that world needs or society needs. My family needs me. Can I be able to available for family, for our parents, for my parents, or for my children, or for my spouse, if they need me? Can I be available? Can I invest to those who really need help? Do I have a time for that? Because I'm so busy with my profession. In order for us to really, living a life truly fulfillment, an experience of fulfillment in our life. God, and you are the center of all. You are the center of each one of our lives. Thank you for this moment, for today, this Sunday, so we can able to experience you in every minute and every moment. If we're willing to open our heart to receive you right now. Thank you, and I'll offer this prayer to you in the name of the Shorty Osaka Community President Central Moscow. Adieu.
Adieu.
Thank you. Thank you.